So this video is continue from the last video. Let us do example number 4. We were working in the binomial, right? So if there are n trials and the probability of success is p and probability of failure is 1 minus p, that is divided by q, then probability of x equals to k is we use the formula or we use the calculator. What is the calculator syntax? Is binom PDF, right? NPK. This is what we did. But if you have p x is less or equals to k, then what is the calculator syntax? We use CDF if there is less or equals to. Okay, so that will be binom CDF and then n p and k. That's what we learned in the last video. Okay, so let us do another example. A student has to take 20 questions, multiple choice with 5 choices for each question, and guess on each question. So there is a test that has 20 questions. All of them are multiple choice, and each of the multiple choice question has 5 options, and then the student doesn't know anything, let's say, and he has to guess all the questions. Okay, so find the probability of guessing at least 15 out of 20 correctly. Okay, so at least 15 means 15 or above. 15 or above. Okay, would you consider this event likely or unlikely to occur? Explain your answer. That's what it says. So let me write down what is n. So n is 20. Total number of trials. How many guesses, how many questions he has to guess is 20, right? So for each question, how many choices are there? 5. So if he randomly guess one of the choice in one trial, what is the probability that he will hit the right choice? Is probability of success is 1 out of 5, because there is only one right choice and there are 5 choices for each question. So probability of selecting a right choice out of 5 is 1 out of 5. Okay, so what will be q? Q will be 1 minus p, that is 1 minus 1 out of 5, that is 4 out of 5. What is x? Is probability of x greater or equals to 15 equals to what? Meaning it says at least 15 means greater than 15 or equals to 15 equals to what? So one way is you will do probability of x equals to 15 plus probability of x equals to 16 plus probability of x equals to 17 plus probability of x equals to 18, okay, plus probability of x equals to 19, and then plus probability of x equals to 20, and then use the binomial PDF for each of those. Binomial PDF 20.2 because 1/5 is 0.2, right? 20.2 and then 15. Binomial PDF 20.2 16. Binomial PDF 20.2 17, and so on. That is one way. Another way is just do binomial PDF, right? So that is binomial PDF, and then do n is 20, p is 0.2, and then k is, you just do 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You do that and then you find out all those and then you add them. That is another one. So I'm going to discuss the third method. You can do this problem by another way. How do you do that? Is the total probability of from 0 to 20 is 1, but you want to find out greater or equals to 15. So greater or equals to 15 is same as, so alternative method is, so you do yourself, okay, complete this method yourself. Now the another method is, if you want to use the third method, this is first method, this is the second method, right? You use binomial PDF for each of those. Binomial PDF, binomial PDF, binomial PDF, binomial PDF, binomial PDF, and then n and p are same in all of those, and then k equals to 15, 16, 17, like that. This is another method. And third method is, what I want to do is to find out the probability between 15 and 20, because the maximum possible number of right choices will be 20, right? And you want to find out what is the probability that the number of right answer is 15 and 20. The total number, maximum number possible is 20. So that is, if you do 0 through 20, the total probability will be 1. But you want to find out that, means which is same as probability of x greater or equals to 15 is same as the total probability minus probability of x less than or equals to 14, meaning you exclude the one that are less than 14. Less or equals to 14 will be same as greater or equals to 15. Okay, so how do we do that? Is 1 minus. For less or equals to, we use the binom CDF, right? You can use binom CDF. N is 20, P is 0.2, right? And then K is 14. If you do that, what do you get? Let me use the calculator for that. Just go to the second, let me do the 1 minus first. So 1 minus, and then go to the second verse and binom PDF, right? Sorry, binom CDF, because there is less or equals to. So binom CDF, hit enter. What is the number of trials? Is 20, right? Comma. You don't need comma. For TI-83 you need comma. P is 0.2, right? And then X value is 14. And then hit enter. So this is what you are trying to find out. Okay, 1 minus binom CDF 20.214. If you hit enter, you will get very small number. So what you get is 1.8027 times 10 to the power negative 7. 1.8027 1.8027 times 10 to the power negative 7. So this is same as 0.0000001 2 3 4 5 6 and then 18027. This is very small, right? Almost zero. So is it likely or unlikely? So unlikely, because this is close to, this is approximately 0, right? So this event is unlikely to happen, meaning that if you are taking a test that has 20 questions, okay, and then and each of them have 5 choices. So if you are guessing all the questions, then probability that you will get 15 or more right is almost unlikely. It is almost 0. That's what it says. So the last thing we do is mean variance and standard deviation of the binomial distribution. Do you remember that in the discrete probability distribution, in the last videos we see that to find out the mean you need to find out x and then px and then multiply x times px, add them all together, x times px. The sum of x times px is mean. And for the variance, what we did was sum of x squared times px minus mu square, right? That was for the any type of discrete probability distribution. But for the binomial probability distribution, the formula is easier. You don't have to do x times px. What you do is, for the mean, it is n times p. N is the number of trials, p is the probability of success. And for variance, you use n times p times q. What is q though? Q is 1 minus p. Okay, n is number of trials, p is probability of success, q is 1 minus p. And for sigma, you do root under n times p times q. Okay, this formula is easier than previously introduced formula for mean and standard deviation. That means just finding the by drawing the table, the distribution table. We don't have to do that. Okay, let us do these 2 examples here. A coin is tossed 5 times. What is n? N is 5, right? And let x denote the number of tails. X is the number of tails. Find the mean and standard deviation of x. What is the probability of getting tails? P is probability of getting tail is 1/2, right? In one trial. P is probability of success in one trial. Here success is tail. So probability of success in one trial is probability of getting tail if you toss a coin once. So that is that. So what is the mu? Mu is n times the p. That is 5 times 1/2. That is 2.5. That is the average is 2.5. That's what it says, right? So meaning if you toss a coin 5 times, half of the times you should be able to get the head, and half of the times you will get the tail. So how do you find out the standard deviation? So standard deviation is root under n times p times q, right? So what is n? N is 5 times p is 1/2. What is q? So q is 1 minus p, right? That is 1 minus 1/2. That is also 1/2. So times 1/2. How much do you get? Is under the root 5/4. 5/4 is, so 5/4, because there is 5 times 1/2 times 1/2 is 5 times 1/2 will be 2.5 times 1/2 is 1.25, right? 1.25. So if you find out the square root using the calculator, what you get is 1.11. This is standard deviation is 1.11. This is one answer and this is another answer, right? Let us do example number 6. A statistical bulletin published by Metropolitan Life Insurance Company reported that 2% of all American births result in twins. So probability of getting a twin is 0.02, 2%, right? If a random sample of 8,000 births are taken, find the mean, variance and standard deviation of the number of births that would result in twins. So what is N? N is 8,000, right? What is P? P is 0.02, that is 2%. What will be Q? Q will be 1 minus P, that will be 0.98, right? So what is the mean then? Mu is N times the P. So what do you get? 8,000 times 0.02. You will get, I think you will get 160. Oh, not 80,000. This is 8,000. Okay, so this should not be 80,000. 8,000 times 0.160. So next is I want to find out the standard deviation as well. So standard deviation is root under N times P times Q, right? So it will be 8,000 times P is 0.02 times Q is 0.92, right? That's what you get. So you will get, if you use calculator, so this should be 98, not 92, because Q is 98. So if you use calculator for this, you will get 12.52. 12.52 is the standard deviation. Okay, so let us do very last problem on this chapter. That is, in a survey, 33% of the Americans said that they purchase products or services online. For a random sample of 220 internet users, find the mean, variance and standard deviation for the number of people who purchase goods online. Also find the probability that at least one purchase products online. Okay, so what does that mean? So for the first one, what is N? N is 220. What is P? Probability of online purchases is 0.33, right? So what is Q then? Q is 1 minus P. That will be 0.67. For the first one, find out the mean. What is mean? Mu is N times P, right? That will be 220 times 0.33. That will be 72.6. Now, how do you find out the sigma? Sigma will, so you need to find out variance too. Sigma square will be N times P times Q, right? That will be 220 times 0.33 times 0.67. 108.3582. 108.3582. Now I want to find out the sigma will be under the root 108.3582. What do you get? You get 10.41. 10.41. That's what you get. And the last question it asks is find the probability that at least one purchase the product online. Probability that X is greater or equals to 1. At least 1 means 1 or more, right? So that's what you get. So how do I find out that? For greater or equals to, what you do is, it is the total minus probability of X less than 1, right? You see that? Probability of X less than 1. That's what it says. So anything greater or equals to 1 is same as the total probability is 1 minus the probability of X less than 1. It is just the complement, right? So what do you get? It is same as 1 minus probability of X equals to 0, because less than 1 is just 0. So now what do you do? 1 minus binomial PDF. Binomial PDF. What is N is 220. What is P is 0.33. And then K is 0. So just use that. So how do I use that? Is basically so let me copy that thing. Okay, how do I copy? You do second and then enter. It will copy. Now I want to change the things. The first one is 220 comma 0.33 comma 0 comma 0. Okay, and then close it, hit enter. You get almost 1. So almost 1. So it is highly likely to happen, right? So the answer is almost 1, because that part is almost 0. That's why. Okay, so 1 minus almost 0 is just 1. So it is almost 100% sure that if you pick one person, so then he will use, so out of 220, at least one person use the online shopping for the goods is almost 100%. That's what it means. Okay, thank you.